Heyo, my tabletop sports friends. This is Bob Hansen coming to you from the Sports Build Plots with a special video today. This is part 4 of my Hockey Blast card design tutorial. And today we're going to be covering putting the actual teams together. So as you see on the screen right now, I have the templates that I designed for every single team. Now, this file that you're looking at right now, this is my actual production file. The file that I was using in the earlier videos was one I just used specifically for the videos because I've already gone through this process before, and I was kind of going through the process again with you so you could see how I did this. But this is the actual file, so you're looking at the actual card. So they may be a little bit different. Angles are a bit different on this one. The angles on the header and the footer are a little less severe than the 4.25 that we used in the other video. This one's like 3.5, I think, percent. But anyways, so you can see I got one for the Hamilton Tigers. We did that yesterday. Well, I did record that yesterday, but we also have the Niagara Falls Barrel Jumpers, which we went through in the other video. We have the Flint Snow Devils. We have the Duluth Yeti. This will be my team, actually, the Duluth Yeti. We have the Green Bay Gremlins, the Madson Mustangs, Rockford Pioneers, Saginaw Swarm, which we'll be fleshing out today. The South Bend Crusaders, the Toledo Blades, the Tri-City Checkers, the Windsor Wolves, and then we also have a special card just for unsigned free agents. So when I went through this draft process, I had some cards left over. Each team had originally only 23 players each. That includes the 2 goalies. I'm upping that to 24 with this card set. So originally I had 2 sheets full of unsigned free agents. It's going to probably go down to 1 now. With this, I'm adding one of the free agents to each team as I go through this process. So you'll see that as we go through this. So let's take a look at an actual completed team. We'll go through one of the ones that you saw in the other video, Green Bay. So here's what the Green Bay sheet looks like. You can see here we have all of our centers. Like I said, we had 5 of the centers. We had 9 wings, so here are the 9 of them. And then we have the 7 defensemen and 2 goalies. We have our team card, and then also I added that's the extra player that got drafted in, this Marcel Himmel. He's the one that got brought in from the unsigned free agents. He was late signing, I guess, right? So you'll see that, after you put the cards in here, they look a lot less busy than that template. We were talked about in that last video that the cards looked really busy. Not so anymore because we've removed a bunch of stuff, and that's pretty much this process is going to be about, is us removing things as we go through this. So as I said, we're going to go through putting together Saginaw. So I've created a separate tab here for Saginaw, and if you're using Visio, you just insert page. There's a little plus symbol down here that you can do that. We're going to zoom in a bit so that I can get these cards in a little bit more easier. And you'll note that my cards are actually the smaller ones. Remember how in the second video we were doing the templating for the card size, that I expanded it so that it fit a little bit better on the page. This one still has the 3 squares basically off to the side that are still open. And that's fine. I can live with that. So here we go. We're going to grab here the center template for Saginaw Swarm. We're going to copy this, and I'm just going to paste it. I'm going to paste it 5 times on here and get it all lined up. So there's the first one. That's 2. That's 3. That is 4, and then one last one, that is 5. Alright, so we're going to do our centers first, and the first center in this set name is Colt Kelley. And in case you guys are wondering what I'm working off of, I have the sheets that I printed out before from the last set. I still have those here, so I'm just working off of those. So you're not seeing that off camera, but that's what I'm going off of. All right, so Colt Kelley, he's a pretty good guy, pretty powerful guy. He has a triangle, a square, and then he has the power play symbol. So we're going to get rid of the penalty killing symbol because he doesn't have that one, but he has the other one. So we're going to line this up, and the way I could do this real quick is just doing the line middle. Actually, I usually leave the line top. And to make these fit a little bit better, I'm going to usually bring them in just a bit. I may have to bring up the zoom just a bit here so I can get a little bit more finite control over this. There we go. Alright, cool. So you see they get a little bit better spacing. And then he has all 6 attributes. So he has speed, skill, power, hit, smart, star. I told you this guy is really good. Then we have the face-off value is 55. His fight value, he does have a fight value, so his fight value is 2. We have A, and penalty rating is a 1. And then with his shots is 2.5. And his assist is 1.5. So we just go in here and we just delete the stars that aren't needed. Oh yes, and jersey numbers. Let's go through jersey numbers real quick first before we move on to the next card. Colt Kelley's done except for a jersey number. For my centers, for every team I've been doing, essentially all of the centers get a jersey number from 1 to 9 or 10, depending on the team. Some teams will go through 10 for them. Some teams will include 10 on the wings. Wings are basically 10 to 30, and then the defensemen are 30 to 49, and then the goalies are 50 in the 50s. And yeah, so we're gonna just a couple arbitrary numbers. Colt Kelley seems like a 1 to me because he's kind of like a number 1 player. He's a GOAT type guy. One of the better players in that set. Alright, there we go. So we created jersey numbers for each of the players. So next player is Scott Ferraro. Alright, and you note that I do the first one mixed case while I do the last names uppercase. This kind of follows the convention that Play Games uses for theirs. He only has a triangle. Oops. There we go. And like I said, the quick way I do this is usually just doing a line middle. Bam, there it is. It's all lined out. It's pretty. He has speed, skill, power, and star. He does not have hit or smart. He does not have a fight rating, so I'm going to delete that right away too. He has a face-off of 46, a injury of B, penalty of 1. This is a really penalty-heavy team here. He has half of a shot star, and he has 2.5 assist stars. And Scott's done. All right, next one is Jared Newman. All right. Jared has none of the symbols in the center, so we're going to be getting rid of all of those. All right. And does not have hit or star. Does not have a fight rating, so we get rid of all of that at once. And 52 face-off, A injury, 0.5, so those are set. Like I said, most players are going to be injury of A and penalty of 0.5, so we'll almost never have to change those. It was odd the first two we had a penalty 1. All right, and he has 1.5 shot stars and 1 assist star. There we go, done. And you can see now we're getting into a little bit of a routine here. So Laissez Petre, and that's sort of French, and my French is kind of horrible. So now this guy has no shot stars. So what I usually do if they have no shot stars is I will color this white in an effort that I can come back if I ever need to make a change to this player and just come back and kind of grab it. I don't think I'll ever do that, but it's something I've been doing. Except for defensemen, because the silhouette is in the way of the star, so the white star you can actually see it. It's kind of weird. That's just for the assist rating. Okay, and then his half of a star for assist. He has no symbols. He only has speed, skill, and power, so we're getting rid of hit, smart, and star. Has no fight rating. Face off of 52. A 0.5. Okay, next one is Henrique Lessard. Alright, and Henry has basically the same as far as stars as Laissez Petre. Okay. And he only has skill and smart, so he has 2 abilities. Has no fight rating. This is a 42 for face-off. Has a C for an injury rating. Still has 0.5 for penalty. And that is it for all of our centers. So we're done with the centers now. Now we're going to move on to the wings. So we're going to copy the wing template. And we're going to paste in 9 of these. Actually, we're going to paste in 10 of these because our extra player for this team is going to be a wing. I've been switching off every team. They're either going to get a wing or a defense player as their extra guy that they get from the undrafted free agents. And this team just so happens to be getting a wing. I've already picked them out for this team, so... Alright. Just going to go in here. So if there's enough interest in this, when I've completed this video, and once I get these, take these out to the print shop and get them printed out, I may do a video on what they look like when they're printed and then cutting them apart and everything. So you can kind of see that process. You'll be seeing these cards quite a bit, hopefully this season, as you know, I do some Hockey Blast videos for my hockey team. So here we go. We're going to give these guys numbers just like we did before. Like I said, we're going to be in a range of essentially 10 to 29 for this team. So we're going to go, let's go 14. Let's go 17, 27, 13, 25, 11, 20, 22. Did we use 15 yet? I don't think we did. Nope, not yet. And we'll do like 19 for this guy. Okay, there we go. So we have numbers for all of our our wings. All right, we will start with Maxime Boucher. I'm pretty sure I got the last name correct on that pronunciation. There's a car dealership in the Milwaukee area that's their Boucher. So I think I have that one right. My French pronunciation, like I said, is horrible. It's just for somebody that's visited France many times. I still really don't know the language and don't know the pronunciations of things. All right, so 2.5 stars and then 1.5 down here. And Maxime has a triangle and a power play. All right. And Maxime has everything but hit, has no fight rating, and is a rare wing that has a face-off rating as well. And Maxime's face-off rating is a 58. A 0.5. Maxime is done. All right, next player is Colt Trapani. Another French name. I'm guessing this is French-Canadian. And, all right. So if I'm murdering these names and you happen to be like French-Canadian, know the actual pronunciations of these, I'm sorry. All right. Cole just has triangle. We're going to line this triangle up the way that we talked about earlier with the align tool. It's usually the easiest. And Cole has everything except for hit and smart. Does not have a face-off rating, does not have a fight rating, so we can get rid of those right away. He has an injury of A, penalty of 0.5, 2 shot stars, and 2.5 assist stars. Alright. And then we're going to do Vladmir Kulikov. Alright, Vladmir has everything except for speed and hit. He has a triangle rating as well, and he also has a power play rating as well. So we'll get rid of those. Also, he does not have a face-off rating, does not have a fight rating. He is an A 0.5 injury and penalty. We're going to move this down. Move this up. And he has 1.5 shot stars and a half of an assist star. Okay. Next up is Kobe Mcfarland. And this is one interesting thing on this template that I haven't fixed yet. Is I didn't do the small caps on the last name, so there we go. Alright, there's Kobe Mcfarland. Shot stars is 1/2, and assist stars is 1/2. And yeah, a lot of the shot stars were used up by Boucher, Trapani, and Boucher, the French triple there. The French triad, I guess we'd call it. Anyways, this player does not have a triangle or power play or square, but does have penalty kill. So we'll just line that up like how we normally do. And no speed, no hit, no star, no face-off, no fight rating, injury of B, 0.5 penalty, done. Alright, Kobe's done. One of my favorite players here And this one I may not be able to do his full name. This is actually, well, actually we can. I think we can do this. So this one is Super Dave Musgrave. So this is a perfect example where when we talked about, when we were making the template in the second video, talked about having a good font size for the majority of the players, and then there'll be some exceptions. This player is one of our exceptions. So we're just going to shrink this font size for both the first and last name by 1 point each. Oh, that's not even enough. Huh. Guess we have to do it by 2. Some of them I have to do 2, like we had to do this for, what is it, for Marchessault. When I did Marchessault's card, I had to do the same size. So this is okay. And it still looks okay. When you look at the Play.com cards themselves, a lot of times they'll have cards with names in smaller fonts if they're really long names. So this follows kind of that precedent. I think it looks just fine with that. All right, Super Dave Musgrave has 2.5 shot stars, but he has only 1 assist star. He has no speed, no hit, none of these. It has everything else. And he also has a face-off rating. He a very odd one there. There's a face-off rating. He also has a fight rating. His injury rating is a C, and his penalty rating is actually 0.5. So even with that fight rating, he still stays out of the penalty bench enough, I guess. All right. I have Eric Madson. Oops. Added one too many I's there. All right, Eric Madson has half star and a 1.5 stars down here. Has speed, skill, power, but no hit, smart, or star, and none of these either. Has no face-off rating, has no fight rating. Injury is an A, penalty is 0.5. Eric Madson is done. And next up is Scout Archer. So one of the great things I think about the fictional sets that Play.com Play Games releases, I love the names that they give the players. So some of them are really creative names, and they sound like athlete names, and they sound like players that you want to root for, even though you don't know who they are. You never heard of the players themselves. They quickly gain a life within your own personal game, which is kind of cool. So this is one of the names I really like, Scout Archer. It's not some kind of name you'd hear normally on the street, but you could see an athlete having a name like this, and this is a cool name. Okay, and he has just speed, skill, and smart, no face-off rating, no fight rating. He is a B for injury and 0.5 for penalty. And the next one is Henrique Bergland. The other cool thing about this set specifically is that the name of the set is like the World Hockey League or World Hockey Association or something like that. But essentially, there are players from all over the world, and this is kind of what the NHL has become now. We have players from Russia, we have players from the Czech Republic, we have players from Poland, players from all of the Scandinavian countries like Denmark and Norway and Sweden and Finland, players from Germany, players from all over, and French players, French-Canadian players. So there's a good mixture in this set of players from just all over the world. And I think it gives it a really good feel for a hockey game specifically to have those names in here. So well done on that. Very well done. So this next one is Henrique Bergland. Oops, sorry, his skill and smart. I'm looking at the next card over. Need to stop doing that. Henrique has no face-off or fight ability. Injury is a B. And 0.5 penalty rating. He has half of a shot star and no assist stars at all. Alright, the next one is Tyler Mclean. And again, I need to set the small caps for this one. Alright, Tyler has only speed and power. That was the one I was actually looking at before. I was kind of looking at one card over. Has no face-off or fight rating. Has an E for an injury rating and a 0.5 for penalty. Has only a half of a shot star. And we need to go back to our templates because I need to grab a scissors off of the defensive card because he has a scissors for assist rating. Alright. Alright. There we go. Now, for this one, yeah, we're going to do this one right now. Normally I save this one for last, but I'm going to do it right now. Just make it easier. And we selected Andre Pletka. Andre has one shot star, which is pretty cool. Has no assist stars whatsoever. And his only ability is power. So he only has one ability. Has no face-off, no fight, a D injury rating, 0.5 penalty, and Andre is done. Alright, now we're going to do the defensive guys. Alright. So we're going to do 7 of these dudes. Alright. Okay, cool. And, oh, one more. Alright, okay, so we got 7 of those guys. Like I said, for the numbering for defensive guys, I usually go from 30-ish to 49-ish. So we're just going to create some numbers for these guys real quick. 36 there. Okay, and we'll start with the first one, who is Paul Genova. Alright, Paul Genova is speed, skill, power, hit, star. So no smart. Has a square. Line that up. Oh yeah, and I forgot to delete these. Has no face-off rating. Does have a fight rating. This team is really kind of a high penalty team. It's interesting. B1. And this player has no. I'm actually going to cut and copy this one. And let's hide it then. And I paste it down here because we have a scissors for a assist rating, no scissors for a shot rating. And that's it for Paul Genova. Next up is Tony DeSalvatore. This is another one that might be a long name here. So again, I need to do small caps. Actually, we're okay. Alright, Tony DeSalvatore, he has everything except for smart. He has both the square and the penalty killing ability. Has no face-off rating, but does have a fight rating as well, just like the other defense guys. So we have a really kind of smash mouth type team here. Penalty rating of 1. They like to fight, like to get in trouble. It's all good. Tony has just half a star. We have to copy this one and paste it up at the top. So the defense guys are a little weird because they don't all have scissors. And so, like I said before on this one, because here's what happens if I leave that 1 star. Oh, jeez. There we go. Here's what happens if I leave that star there. You can see in the middle of the hockey stick, there's the remnants of a white star in there. So for these, I just get rid of them. Hope that I never have to go back and use it. All right. Next one is Val Moise. And again, this is my lack of understanding of the French language coming to rear its ugly head. He has speed, skill, smart. Doesn't have any power hit, essentially. And it's one of the rare players that doesn't have a fight rating on this defense, I guess. This one has a triangle, so this is kind of more of an offensive-minded individual. Actually, you know what? Do the alignment. Don't know why I'm moving it that way. He has a injury rating of 8, but he has a penalty rating of 0. Wow. He's like the good guy on this team. And interestingly enough, he has a shot rating. All right, and he also has a assist rating of 2.5. Wow. So like I said, more of an offensive geared defense guy. So that's kind of cool. Manny Huma is next. All right, Manny is one of those players that oh, great. It was the other one. I'll have to copy it from here. There we go. Half a star at the top. Assist rating is a scissors. Manny's got skill, power, smart. No symbols. No face-off. No fight rating. Injury rating is a B, 0.5 penalty, otherwise good to go. All right, next up is Nicolas Francis. Nicolas, again, okay, actually this is good. He has scissors for shot, half a star for assist, and skill, power, and smart, just like the other guy. No other rating there. Face off, no face off rating, no fight rating. A penalty, or sorry, A injury, 0.5 penalty. Good to go. Next up is Rob House. Oops. Rob has the scissors for shot rating, has nothing here, so we're just going to delete that. We'll delete the face-off because he doesn't have a face-off rating. Doesn't have a fight rating either. Has only speed and skill. And his injury rating is a C. Penalty rating is a 0.5. Last defense guy is Jeremy Cook, who is a scissors. And all right, Jeremy, okay, so we got for Jeremy just power and smart, nothing else. No face-off rating. Has a fight rating. Surprise, surprise. Injury rating is an A and penalty is 0.5 as well. Okay, next up is the goalies. We have two of them. All right. So first one is going to be Brennan. And he has a start rating of 3, has no fight rating. Most of these goalies aren't going to have that. For this template, I like in the other video I did this actually smarter, where I set these to 0 because almost all of the goalies have the 0 penalty rating. So injury of B, penalty of 0. The next one is name is Danny Mccauley. A lot of Mick players on this team. That's 3 of them on this one team. Actually, no, it was only 2. It was the other one was a D, Salvatore. Okay. Danny Mccauley, start rating of 4. No fight rating. B injury, 0.5. So this is one of the rare penalty guys for that. All right, so play save rating for Brandt is a 3. The shot rating is a 3, and the spectacular save is just a 1. Play save for him is a 4. He has a 1 for that, and this is non-existent. There's no spectacular save rating whatsoever. Okay, last thing we got to do is we got to create the little team card here. I'm going to go back to Niagara Falls. I'm going to copy their card as an example here. I'm going to come back here, paste this in here. So we have to make some changes to the color for this one. I didn't template the cards on this version, so I'm going to grab the fill color here real quick. All right. Oops. That's not what I wanted. We're going to change the fill. We're going to change the line. Change the color of this to black. Change the color of that to black too. Change the team name. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this logo and I'm going to add, hang on, let me grab the logo off of another sheet here. Great, I don't have that other sheet open, do I? Ha ha ha, that's funny. So I'm going to grab these. Okay, and you guys are probably not seeing this right now. I found that out, interestingly enough. Alright, go back to the screen here. You're like, what is he talking about? Okay, here we go. So paste the logo on here. Logo is going to be a little bit too big because it was bigger on the other cards. There we go. So under Saginaw logo, and they are a B+ team. This is a pretty good team. One of the better teams in the league. And that's it. So we have our full team sheet now for the Saginaw Swarm. That's how we do this. So we do this for all of the teams. Like I said, this is a bit of a time-consuming process. So those of you who think that I can set this up in some kind of an Excel format and quick do this and put in a bunch of things, I can't do that. I do my cards by hand like this. This is what I do for every set. I put in probably a good 10 hours of work pretty much on every set that I do. This set I was slowed down a little bit with the video process, going through this, but suffice it to say I'm about halfway done with this process. For this one, I've got another, actually I'm a little more halfway. I've got 5 teams left to do, and then the undrafted free agents, and then I'm all done with that. So that's it. This is the end of the video series. I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked this video, please drop a like down there. Add some comments. Tell me what you think of this. Tell me what you want to see more of. If you want to see more design videos like this, I can do more. I can talk about maybe my my thoughts on like baseball card design for History Maker Baseball, or other projects I'm working on. So just let me know what you want to see. But yeah, this has been great. I really enjoyed making this series for you guys. I hope you really enjoy it. I hope this is useful to you. And I know that many of you guys aren't going to get this tool. This tool is pretty expensive out there. I think it's $199 for just this tool. So it's kind of expensive, and I know a lot of people like to use freeware, whatever. So there are options out there for you, but I hope you can take from this video and learn and apply those concepts to whatever you're using, whatever tool you're using. And I think it'll work out great for you. So thanks a lot for watching again, and that'll be it.